For some reason, my 2010 Ford F-150 will not shift out of park. So I'm going to show you what I think it is. Now, this bushing video is going to go through a bunch of different scenarios that you might have if your Ford F-150 shifter doesn't come out of park. It's very similar for a column, but this is for a console type shifter. So watch all the way to the end and you'll see how I fixed it, although any of these scenarios really could be your problem. So don't just go by what I'm telling you. You really got to check them all. So this 2010 Ford F-150 with 216,000 miles on the odometer will not shift out of park. So you press on the brake, it does not come out of park. You know, these newer vehicles have some type of safety mechanism where you have to press on the brake before you take it out of park. So I'm suspecting that it is this part right here. So let me show you. So underneath the dash here, this light, this is the item that I suspect is the problem. Now they say you can just kind of twist it one way and it'll pull out. So hopefully, let's see if that's the case here. Yeah, so basically I'm twisting this clockwise and it pulls out like this. And then a little clip right here, just press that in and it should come undone. To get that clip out, I had to take this little pick and push it down right here and push up, and it came right out like that. A close inspection of the parts. This is the original unit. It actually says Fomoco for Ford Motor Company on it with the Ford part number. This is a Duralast, AutoZone Special. It looks the same without the part numbers, and there's your number there. So AutoZone actually can get the original part. This is a Chinese made part, but they didn't have it in stock. This is about $30, and the original, and it's got a lifetime warranty, and the Ford Motor Company one is about $65, at least from AutoZone, and it only has a 2-year warranty. But I mean, I would have probably went with the Ford one, but I have to get this thing on the road and get this out of park, so hopefully this will fix it. And if it breaks again, I will bring it back to AutoZone and swap it and pay the difference and get the Ford version. This is very easy to change, so no big deal. If I was replacing something inside the dash, I would go with the original equipment. Installation is reverse. You just put it in and do it counterclockwise and it'll click in, and then you take your pigtail and plug it in. Let's see if it works. Okay, you're gonna see it when I see it. Let's start it up. All right, foot on the brake. Oh no, it doesn't work. That wasn't the problem. Oh no. All right, I'm really gonna be mad if this is it. So anyway, I got something on the a brick on the brake pedal. Our brake lights are on now, as you can see, or not see, but they're there. The center red piece in my third brake, don't worry about those outside ones. The center one should be illuminated. It is not illuminated. And I read somewhere that on like a Ford Escort, that actually controls that shifter. That bulb looks out. If that's the case, this is really stupid, but I'm going to change that bulb. Now, this gasket is prone to leaking, so be careful with this. If you have to do this, you might want to buy another gasket. I actually have another video on that. I'll put it right here. But this will leak and get on your headliner. This is the little bulb I'm after right here. This one. That's crazy if that's the problem. After looking with a magnifying glass, this is a GE912 bulb. So I'm going to see if I have one of these in my collections here. I don't have the exact one, but I've got these two with the same base as this burnt one. So we're going to try these, see what happens. All right, put the bulb in. Let's go see if I can get it to put a brick, see if I can get it to illuminate. Let's see. Okay, so we come back here. As you can see, it is now lighting up. So let's see if this thing will come out of park. You're all going to see this real time with me. Boy, if all this happened because of a stupid light bulb. All right, cranked, foot on the brake. Nope, still doesn't work. Okay, my next step, what I didn't want to do, I pulled the console out. I went to take, the shifter out, and look what I see here. Some remnants of some type of bushing. So I wonder if that's got anything to do with it. We're going to find out. Okay, what I see has happened is the shifter cable has come off of this little stud here. That may be the issue. I'm going to have to pull this whole thing out to figure this out. Okay, went back to AutoZone and got these Dorman shift link bushings. It says it's got a Ford one in there, so we're gonna take that back to the house and try it out. So these are the two out of the kit I decided to try. It has to go in here and then snap onto this little thing right here. But let me show you what actually happens. So when you go to squeeze this and shift it, if you see that little piece going up and down right there, you see how it's hitting that little plastic piece? This little plastic piece has a servo that's supposed to go in. It only goes in when everything is correct and aligned, and this was not aligned because it had already came off of this bushing. So we're going to put a new bushing in, and hopefully that will fix it. Okay, I had to go to O'Reilly to get a different one. I couldn't get any of them to work. I think this is the right one. So if you go, I have the AutoZone app on my phone. I don't have an O'Reilly app. I don't even think they make one. But the AutoZone app calls for the other one that I bought. The O'Reilly website calls for this one. So Dorman, this looks like it might work. We'll try this one and maybe return the other ones. Okay, I'm going to take this. I'm going to put a little synthetic brake caliper grease on it so it can pop in there. Okay, got that one popped in. Okay, back in the shop, going to drastic measures so you don't have to. I was not satisfied with the way any of those bushings fit, so I'm going to show you what I'm going to try to do. So you'll see I put a little notch in there with the Dremel tool. Now, a full-size Dremel tool, just so you'll know, is about that big, and I had a worn-out one about this big. So it took the worn-out one to be able to get up in there. So that's first thing. Now, what I've done is that I did that in case I end up putting a bushing on and having to put one of these little E-clips. You can get this little assortment from Harbor Freight, and that would keep the cable on it. And what I had to do was I machined down. This is the original size of it. Some of that black stuff is some of that grease I tried to put on it. This is what I've done with it. I have since, in order to make it fit, I had to grind down the side a little bit, where the bevel is right here. And then, in order to make it fit more flush down, I took off this some of this ridge right here. And the way I did that is I just took this bushing, went over to my side grinder, turned on the wheel, and just kind of did it with my hand a little bit till I got it to the shape I wanted. So I'm going to go do some test fit now. I'll let you know how it turns out. Well, once I made those adjustments, that thing snapped right into place and tugged on it. It's not coming out, so I think that's done. I'm not going to put that E-clip on it, but E-clip is a possibility if you come into a situation. And as an extra little bit of assurance, I put a large zip tie, drilled a little hole in there to push it that way. So if that bearing bushing ever comes loose, it will still have tension to pull it onto that stud to keep it from coming off. So hopefully that'll give me a few more years. All right. Working. So this is pretty easy. You just have 4 of these 8mm nuts down there and an electrical plug right here. Okay, that about wraps up this video. There are plenty of videos out there on how to take this out. This is easy. You just pull it up I took this trim piece off first. You do not need to do that. This thing will just pull right up and over it. It is helpful if you can get this this gear shifter down a little bit, but if you're stuck in park, you can't really do that. I still was able to get it out. Some of the videos say you have to move this little bottom trim piece out. It just pops out. I didn't do that, didn't have to, but you know, anyway. Hopefully this gives you at least some idea of a potential solution. The only other solution is replacing the entire cable, getting one from Ford, and they're not that expensive, but I didn't really feel like doing that. That about ends this video on that bushing. You know, the interesting thing is that I have a 2010 Jeep Wrangler, and I'll put the card right here that you can look at this video. The exact same thing happened. That bushing just deteriorated. The funny thing about it is the bushing looks exactly like the bushing that was on this F-150, and they're both the same model. They're both 2010 year model. So it makes me wonder if the same company made both of those shifting cables and use the same type of plastics. Now, nothing lasts forever. I mean, it's getting on to be 14 years old, but that is really an area that they really should make metal to metal or aluminum to aluminum, something that you would not have to worry about that bushing going out and leaving you stranded. This doesn't make the car run bad. This shuts you down. You cannot drive when these bushings go out. So poor design in my opinion, but you know, hindsight's 20/20 and all that stuff. So anyway, hope this helped you out. Have a great day.